Today, I want to show you a tool that I made that you can download in the description of this video that I've made to kind of address a problem that I was having with buttons in TouchDesigner. So it may not be the best or the most optimal solution, but it worked for me, and hopefully that means it can work for you too. So yeah, I'm going to show you the problem that I encountered and then my solution to it. And yeah, okay. So to start off, let's get a container from the comp list and we can go inside of it. Now, the problem that I was having is that I was trying to replicate many buttons in TouchDesigner. So I would put down a button, for example. I would go to the replicator, stick the button into the master operator box, put it in active mode, and then replicate this thing like, say, 400 times, and then turn off maximum operators. So you may have noticed that when I did that, my frames dropped just a little bit. If I replicate them all again, you'll see it dropped down to 30 something frames, which is not really good for performance. Furthermore, if I go to the container and let's say all the buttons were organized, whatever, whenever I click on them or interact with them in this container on a large scale like that, you can see it drops my performance quite a bit, almost down into single-digit FPS. So this was not acceptable to me. So I decided to try a different method of button management using tops instead. So I'll delete that. And then here is my solution. I will quickly show you how it works. Basically, you click on the operator, you go over here to open window, and you press pulse maybe once, maybe twice if the formatting doesn't look right. And you can see here that we've got a grid of 20 by 20 squares, and I can click any one of them, and you'll see that the frame rate never drops because this is all just pixel operations. So yeah. And then if I want to, like, say, clear or reset all the buttons, I can just turn on this reset thing. So yeah, I'll show you the inside of it and how it works. Basically, we get a rectangle that is the size of, 1 unit of this grid. We move it around according to the mouse position. And then we do a little bit of like top math so that whenever it is clicked, it adds like a white pixel value into a certain square. And if there's already a white there, then we actually subtract the pixel value so that it goes back to empty. And then it's all stored in place using a feedback. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I've also converted it at the end of this network into a few different formats. One, in case you want to see the interface output, you can see that as a top right here. The second one, if you want to see what buttons have been clicked, you can see the chop values here. You can also see those values in DAT format, and then if you want to just see the pixel values themselves, you can, use that video output. So I'll quickly show you a little more how to use it before I wrap up this video. But if you would like to change the color of the borders of these squares, you can change that to any color you want. Maybe you like no borders or something, but you would still like to know what buttons are pressed and, still see the lines between them. So there you go, you can do that. You can also adjust the border width if that's something that is important to you. You can go higher than these bounds, of course. You can also change the color of buttons once they are selected. You can change the highlight color, maybe say purple, to show you where your mouse is. And then the color for when your mouse is being held down is the click color. And yeah, you can also adjust the number of rows and columns you want. maybe you want something like 10 by 25. You can just go ahead and reset and then click the open window thing a couple of times and that'll pulse it wide open. Once it's open, you can just click and start using it like normal, and all of the outputs will automatically be updated. If you have any issues with the size of the output, or like maybe it's not tracking your mouse exactly where you'd expect it to, just click once and that should update it. You can also change the size of the output window if you just adjust the window width and height here. So for something like 10 by 25, you might want a width of 100 by 250. Pulse that a couple times. Maybe multiply that by 3 each time. There you go. So yeah, anyways, that is the component that I made. It's using tops instead, and there's no frame rate drop. So maybe you can use this in your project. So I'm going to go ahead and share the link to this operator in the description of this video, and I hope you're able to use it. Thanks. Bye.